If we haven't met yet, this is me. I'm Addie Martineau, and I make content on bullet journaling, pen paling, and everything stationery. So we've reached the end of the month, which means I get to make a brand new theme for my bullet journal. And I wanted to take you along with me, so I hope that's okay. I had so much fun designing these spreads and figuring out a color scheme, but instead of just talking about it, I'll go ahead and show you. So let's get into it. So this month I decided to do with my theme based on one of my favorite movies as a kid, which was The Last Unicorn. Recently on my YouTube recommended videos, a video essay about The Last Unicorn of all things popped up, and I thought, what the hell? So I watched it, and it was like an hour long, and I loved the whole thing. It was so inspiring, just listening to the history behind the book and some tidbits about the author and his inspiration. It was just so fun. And after watching that video, I became a little obsessed. I dove right into reading the book myself, and I watched the movie over again. I listened to the soundtrack, or as much as I could find, and oh man, yeah, I figured since that's my current obsession, I would throw it into my bullet journal so that in the future I could remember. This is a quote that is in the book as well as the movie. It's, "She will remember your heart when men are fairy tales in books written by rabbits." But I shortened the quote a little bit because I wanted bigger lettering. So I shortened it to, "She will remember your heart when men are fairy tales." And that just really spoke to me about how so much of this world is timeless and our lives are so short. A theme throughout the book was that sometimes when something is short-lived, it makes it more beautiful. This month, I decided to go with a pastel theme. I used my Ecoline watercolor markers to create most of the colors, and that darker blue is my Brush Sign Pentel pen. Yeah. This month I decided to put a space on the side of my calendar spread for any events that are going on. This month I'm planning on visiting my family, and I have had a lot of random things pop up lately, so hopefully this will help me keep track of all of them. So much fun trying to figure out how to draw these unicorns. If you go to my Pinterest, in my bullet journal board, I have a group called Theme, and in that I put any references I use for my drawings for my theme, any lettering inspiration or anything like that. So if you're curious where I figured out how to draw these unicorns, it's all in there. They're mostly screenshots from the movie, and I was surprised how difficult it was to draw these unicorns. They seem, in the movie she seems elegant, but also a bit eerie, which was kind of hard to portray on paper. So I had to practice a lot. There's a couple pages in my bullet journal where I just practice over and over again drawing these unicorns. think if you're trying to draw something that, especially if you're getting inspiration from a movie or a book, the best advice I could give you is to look at lots of references. And if you need to, even print one out and trace it just to practice the angles. If there's anything I'm uncomfortable with drawing or I've never done before, that's the system I take on figuring it out. I chose to do this really pretty, really bouncy lettering for this month. It was fun outlining everything. I think it kind of looks like a spaghetti noodle. Todd, he makes an appearance in pretty much every video just because he's always curious about what I'm doing, and he frequently lays on top of my notebook. But I still love him. He's cute. I was messing around with these big drop shadows, and I think that they look so cool. I even added some to the unicorn occasionally, but I think it really helps everything pop. The diamonds scattered throughout remind me a bit of Frozen, but that wasn't intentional at the time. It was meant to kind of fill space. I debated doing the stylized trees from the scene where the unicorn is in her forest and the hunters are talking about how unicorns don't exist or how they're all gone. And if you haven't watched the movie in a while, I would suggest rewatching it because that scene is so underrated. The background is beautiful. I rewatched it to get inspiration for this, and the background was so beautiful. It's super stylized and lots of bold colors, but it looks so just mystical, and I love it so much. I decided that using my markers to create that would not do it justice. So, plus I didn't want everything to be too busy. I need some space. I wanted space for the pages to breathe. So these little diamonds fit pretty well. I looked at a lot of images of horses too, to try to create these unicorns because they're kind of a mix of a deer and a horse. They're more delicate than a horse, but not quite the same shape as a deer. That's how she was described in the book. She was described as kind of like a horse, but more dainty than a horse, and kind of like a deer, but not really like a deer. And so I looked at a lot of images of both of those. I created a Dutch door for my weekly spread, which I have for the past few months. I really love it. Instead of cutting into pages that were already in the journal, I used some scrap paper I had, and I cut them out and taped them in, which I think I've been enjoying that because I tend to use a lot of pages every month, just journaling and writing notes and drawing, and so I don't want to waste any pages. So at the end of the video, I'll show you how thick it is, but this journal is not the same size it began with. think that if you're looking for a way to make your lettering pop, especially if you're using a light color like I enjoy doing, just outlining everything with a thin black line or even a colored line, it makes everything feel more put together and purposeful instead of feeling like it was thrown together last minute. Man, I love how whimsical this spread turned out. I think this is my favorite unicorn of the whole bunch. Well, here is the final flip through. I had so much fun creating this, and I was so proud of that unicorn on the first page. I think I'm gonna look back at it in years to come and be like, wow, that was awesome. I hope that I continue to improve my drawing skills, but as of right now, I'm really proud of it. It took a lot of practice drawings to figure it out. See that? It's so nice and thick. I feel like this journal, when I first got it, it was beautiful and thin and simple, and now it's covered in cat hair. I don't know if you can see that. It's covered in cat hair, and it's very fat. Because halfway through I decided that I didn't want to cut my pages anymore. So yeah, but I love it, and I have been having so much fun creating spreads with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a blast. I can't wait. Just a few more days and then I can open it up and use it. I've linked the video that inspired me down below, so go ahead and watch that. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next month for the last theme in this bullet journal. We're almost there. Just got this much more. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye.